was a young man, I couldn't understand why you would give up your life like that.
Excited to chat with both of you today. My background's actually in history, so it's always a thrill when I get to marry my two interests with a series like this.
Oh, amazing.
Great.
Nice to talk to you.
It's nice to talk with you. A few months back, I got to talk with Maisie Williams about her work on the new look, and we talked a lot about shaving her head for that role and kind of the emotions that are involved with that. And I was curious for both of you what that process was like with this role, and if there were any of those like emotions that it brought up and kind of making it more impactful for both of you.
Yeah, for me, it definitely did. I think I underestimated actually what a moment it might be. I think beforehand, I thought it could just be an innocuous moment and just part of the process and kind of the least of my worries. And then I think I found that when it actually came to doing it, particularly in this context and with all the associations and the reasons why we were shaving our head and the process of dehumanization and taking away of someone's identity, suddenly it became this massive, poignant thing. And I think we all, one by one, did it the first time, and particularly when people had so much hair to be losing, and it was, it was definitely quite a moving thing.
Yeah, I think for me, it's like one of the most memorable things, moments of this production. I remember when I looked at myself in the mirror for the first time with my head shaved, in costume, with tattoo on my arm, and it was very powerful and quite emotional, and it's just got me closer to the character that in that moment. It was a very profound moment. Very much so. There was something very physical about it, like very emotional, but physical too. It wasn't just about changing the appearance. It was so much more to it. Yeah.
Even just watching 2 episodes of this series, I felt like I was haunted by what I was seeing. And I was curious for both of you, what aspects of your characters stuck with you after you wrapped on the show?
I mean, I think Gita is such an amazing character to play, and I mean, it's also of course it's a great responsibility to play a real character, and it was scary at first, but I felt in love with her like instantly. I think she's so multidimensional, so complex. I love how fragile she is. How her vulnerability is something is deeply moving, and her strength and resilience is something that I admire about her so much. And she's a true inspiration. And yeah,
it was the same for me. I think it's funny when something. So we're trying to portray such a dark and traumatic history. It's interesting that really what has stuck with us is the light that we were able to find in the darkness, and specifically the light that they were able to find. Lale was a person of such compassion and kindness and commitment to helping others, even when he was in these impossible situations and given these impossible choices. So I think somehow holding on to his humanity and having the capacity to show love to others and even receive love as well is an incredible lesson and has stuck with me.
You bring up an interesting point there. Something I like about the show so much is that even though there's these horrible things going on, it's still very much a love story between these 2 characters. I was curious, Jonah, you've played a romantic lead in a lot of different, projects, but what is it like to get to explore romance within such extreme emotions and situations?
Yeah, the stakes feel incredibly high because it feels like love against all odds and love at any cost. And I think everything feels even more heightened and more extreme and more intense in a situation like this. The fact that they were even able to have this love was so extraordinary and so unique, and is definitely a big part of what drew me into this project and drew me into the story. I think, because it was so surprising and so unlikely, I think it shines even brighter than maybe a love story in a different context.
I did have one more question for you, Jonah. I feel like everyone's going to be trying to sneak in a Doctor Who question for you. So I wanted to do a curveball and ask you what you can tell me about The Rich Flu, because I am so excited for that film. That cast list is just incredible.
You're the first person to ask me about that. Thank you. Yeah, we shot it a little while ago now. It finished filming at the end of 2020. I want to get this right. 3, I think. So, but well over a year for sure. And I recently went in and did some ADR for it. It's a completely bonkers and wacky and funny film. I actually don't know if I've even told you about it, but it was super fun. I was playing an incredibly outlandish, villainous, terrible guy.
Nice.
And it was great fun. So yeah, I'm hoping that will be out this year. So fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. Yes, I'm very excited for that one. I want to thank you both so much for this, and I can't wait for everyone to see The Tattooist in Auschwitz.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks so much.